Hey everyone, welcome to Two Guys and a Mouse, the show that gives you all the Disney news, tips, and tricks to get you the most out of your Disney vacation. I'm Lance and we're here with Les, and today we're going to talk about down days or non-park days on your Disney vacation, and all of that is coming up next. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk a little bit about down days. So what is a down day and why would you want one? A down day is nothing more than a non-park day or a day that you don't have scheduled in the parks. And there's a couple of reasons why we would recommend having a non-park day or a down day. And the first one being is if you have children. For kids and adults alike, the parks can be very exhausting, especially if you're going to do rope drop to fireworks. It's nice to have that day to just kind of relax and take it slow, and you are paying money to stay at a very nice resort, so that's the second reason, is enjoy the resort. You know, most of the resorts have activities during the day. There's this Tri-Circle D Ranch, which is part of, I believe, the not Wilderness Lodge, the Fort Wilderness campsite, where you can actually do horseback riding right on property. So, another reason why you might want a down day or a non-park day is simply the fact that you are there for 7 days and you only bought 4 or 5 days worth of park tickets. You're going to have some days that you're not at the park actively doing the parks. And believe it or not, as blasphemous as this sounds, there are other things to do in Orlando other than Disney. Shock. But before we get too far into the video, I'd like to welcome all of our new viewers. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing and turning notifications on so that you know whenever we release new content. Also, if you like the video, please like and share it with your friends. It'll really help out the channel. So I'm going to turn it over to Les. He's going to start talking to us a little bit about some free activities that you can do on a down day or a non-park day. And Les, take it away.
Yeah, so like Lance said, I definitely recommend taking a down day. Initially, when we first started going to Disney, we didn't do this, and now that we've been there for a few times and we're getting a little bit older, it actually really makes sense, and we like to take advantage of it now. So what are you going to do? Well, the first thing that's probably pretty self-explanatory is you're going to sleep in. So if you've been doing rope drop to fireworks or the nighttime show, like Lance said, till you get about 2-3 days into it, you're going to really appreciate that down day, and you're going to like the opportunity to actually sleep in and get a good night's sleep, and then wake up at your leisure, maybe stroll over to the restaurant in your resort or the cafeteria, depending on where you're staying, and get some breakfast and just kind of relax and take it easy. So that's the first one. The second one, which I actually got to do last April in 2021 during our trip to the Poly, was we actually spent a good portion of the day in the pool. And the great thing about Poly, and the great thing about some of, especially the DVC resorts, but it's not exclusive to DVC resorts, it's a lot of even the cash room resorts at Disney, they have multiple pools. At the Poly, they have one that's more family-based. It has water slide and different things to do at the pool. And then they have another one which everybody affectionately calls the quiet pool. It's not just for adults. I have been there and there's been kids there. But for the most part, it is quieter than the other one because it doesn't have water slides or anything. It's just a smaller pool. But a pool day, nice and relaxing. Playgrounds, if you have kids, obviously, and they're younger, playgrounds are a great way to go spend some time, let the kids run around, burn off some energy. Jogging or walking, so if you're into fitness, you're into running, or you just like to go for long walks, I mean, some of these resorts are huge, and they'll have sidewalks or trails around the entire resort. So you can definitely get your run in, get your walk in. I see people doing this all the time whenever I'm down there. Visit an arcade. So some of the resorts are going to have an arcade, and I I've never personally gone in one myself, but they are there. Lance, have you ever been in one?
I have. My son and I typically will find the arcade and we'll go hang out there on our down days. And what's cool about the arcades in the resorts is that when you show up, you can buy a card, and that card is good pretty much indefinitely. Now, mind you, not every resort has an arcade, but a lot of them do, and they're pretty modern arcades. Some really nice games in there, and there are even some times when the staff in the arcade will turn the games on and do like a free play night for the kids. So it doesn't hurt to check to see what nights they're doing those, and you'll know that when you check in with your hotel and they get you your daily resort activities, which Les is going to tell you about right now.
Yep. So if you want to know what activities are going on at the resort, you can usually go to the front desk and you can ask them, and they'll either tell you what the activities are for that day. They may even have a printout so that you can take that with you. And that way you know what's happening at what time and where on the resort, especially for, again, some of these bigger ones. Polynesian, I've seen the activities happen pretty close to the main lodge, and they'll have cast members out there, and they'll be doing crafts with the kids, or a dance party at nighttime. A lot of the resorts, or all the resorts, have movies that they'll have a projector and like a big blow up screen, and they'll set that out by the pool or somewhere close to, again, the main resort building. Things like trivia games, different challenges. Looks like maybe tie-dye t-shirts too, Lance.
Yeah, tie-dye t-shirts, marshmallow roasting.
Yeah, marshmallow roasting. Forgot about that one. But if you can, again, you can go to the front desk and they'll have the information there for you. So typically those activities happen throughout the day. It's not just a nighttime thing. So definitely a good way to spend the day at the resort too. So if you're at a DVC resort, then I would highly recommend, if you have some downtime, that you take a DVC tour. There's obviously no incentive to buy. It's a great way that if you're not a DVC member, that you can see what the DVC resorts look like, what the rooms look like, what amenities they have, what the members have available to them. And all you have to do is you just have to walk up to them and just say, I would love to take a tour of a DVC room and see what it looks like. And they will be more than happy to show you a room or several rooms. We were at Hollywood Studios, and we took advantage of some time that we were there, and we actually took the Skyliner over to the Riviera, which is DVC's newest resort. We got to see 3 or 4 different rooms at the Riviera, and it was fantastic. So I'm actually going to try and stay there in the future in one of their tower studio rooms, which is basically just big enough for 2 people. But for my wife and I, when we go without the kids, it would be perfect for us. And we would never even know that was there if we hadn't taken this tour. Great way to spend the day. Great way to see maybe resorts that you've never been to before. It's all free. There's no charge for any of it. And at the end, they give you a print of Mickey and Minnie at the Riviera Resort. It's a drawing. It's a very nice print. If you like to collect things like that, we got a few of them. So definitely another great way to spend the day. So I'm going to turn it back over to Lance.
Yeah, so another free day activity is spending the day at the Disney Boardwalk. Now, you may not know this, but Disney has a boardwalk that they have as part of the Beach Club, Boardwalk, and Yacht Club resort area, and that's right near Epcot. They have a full-blown boardwalk, and the boardwalk has dining, entertainment, shopping, and it's based on the turn-of-the-century Atlantic City boardwalk. It's really cool. It's got vibrant colors, and it literally reminds you of being at the shore. It's great. There's a bunch of different bars that you can hit, or you can just simply stroll up and down the boardwalk, walk to the International Gateway, jump on the Skyliners. It's a really fun day. It's a really relaxing day. You can also head to Disney Springs, which is another free to enter as part of the Walt Disney World Resort. You can go in, you can do some dining, you can do some shopping, or you can resort hop from Disney Springs. So Disney Springs has a bus terminal, and each of the resorts will have a bus that goes from the resort to Disney Springs and vice versa. So if you were going to take Les's advice and you wanted to hop to, say, the Polynesian because you'd never been there, take a bus out to Disney Springs, get on the Polynesian bus, head over to the Polynesian and tell the cast member that you'd like to take the DVC tour. And again, they would be more than happy to take you on the tour, show you the rooms, and tell you what it's all about. So definitely you want to check out those free options. In addition to touring not only the DVC resorts and the deluxe resorts, there is the option to tour the monorail resorts, and I'm actually going to let Les tell you a little bit about that since he's got the most experience with those resorts. So
yeah, so having stayed at the Poly a bunch of times, definitely very familiar with riding the monorail and the resorts that revolve around the lagoon and on the monorail itself. So that's the Polynesian Village Resort, the Grand Floridian, and then the Contemporary. So if you want to take Lance's advice and you want to basically ride the monorail and visit all three of those resorts, easily accomplished by taking a bus from Disney Springs to any of those three resorts, and then you can simply get on the monorail and ride it all the way around, and you can hit all the resorts. But there's many things to do. They're very cool resorts. You should go there, check them out. You can ride around the monorail. If you have kids love the monorail. I'm not a kid. I love the monorail. And it takes you right by Magic Kingdom too. So you can even jump into Magic Kingdom. Kind of goes against the down day, but the Magic Kingdom park is on the monorail loop too. So
yeah. Well, you could always hop the monorail, right, and just ride the monorail line from the Magic Kingdom through the resorts to the Ticket and Transportation Center, then jump monorails over to the Epcot monorail, ride that loop, come back, jump back onto the Magic Kingdom monorail, go back to the gates, and then get on a boat, go to, say, the Poly or something like that, or even Wilderness Lodge, which is not on the monorail loop. You could go to from Magic Kingdom front gate. So that's always a fun one. I like the Wilderness Lodge. I've stayed there in the past. It's a very cool resort. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that. If you are absolutely correct. If you're at the park at Magic Kingdom, you can actually take the boat to Fort Wilderness Lodge. So
yep.
And then so that's four resorts you could see.
Oh yeah, all really cool resorts. So I highly recommend checking them out. But aside from the free activities that are available to you as a Walt Disney World guest, there are also a couple of paid activities that you and your family can do while on a non-park or down day. And the first one is a spa day or makeover. Now, a lot of the resorts do offer spa facilities that are available to guests, and they offer a couple of different services such as facials, massages, fitness, and other relaxation type activities. Make sure you check with your resort to make sure that the spa is open, but you want to book that in advance through your travel advisor or through your MDE app to make sure that you have a spot locked in, as they can fill up pretty quickly. The next thing that you can do on a makeover day is for the little kids, the young princes and princesses can visit the Bippity Boppity Boutique. Now, there are two Bippity Boppity Boutiques on property. One of them is in Magic Kingdom, but the other one is actually in Disney Springs. And what it is you can purchase a package, and it will get you a makeover as a Disney princess or a prince. And they'll do your hair, they'll do your makeup, they'll put you in costume, and they'll take you into the back area and they'll do an actual photo shoot. And just make sure that you check to make sure that it is available for you and make a reservation, because I don't believe you can just show up for the Bippity Boppity Boutique. Actually, I think right now it's unavailable at the time of this recording, but it will open, you know, moving forward. So just make sure you check the MDE app and make a reservation ahead of time. But it's really cool. They do a makeover and a photo shoot. If you have the Photo Pass or Memory Maker, add on to your Disney Vacation package, or if you're an annual pass holder with the Photo Pass option, those photos are free and it just comes as part of the package. So again, check the website for pricing, reservations, and availability. And another activity that I know both Les and I love doing on our down days is golf, both real and miniature. Now, Disney World offers 3 championship golf courses on the property. Those are Palm, Magnolia, and Lake Buena Vista. The Palm and Magnolia are both on the Shades of Green campus, and Lake Buena Vista is part of Saratoga Springs, right, Les?
Yep, you actually crisscross between the Saratoga Springs Resort and Old Key West. It straddles both.
Gotcha. That's right, because we were at Old Key... No. Where were we at in January? Was that Old Key West or Saratoga?
Old Key West.
Okay, so yeah. Yeah, Lake Buena Vista, number 4, Old Key West. Beautiful room, and we'll throw that up B-roll somewhere here, so you guys can check that out. But yeah, I've played all 3 of those golf courses. They're fantastic golf courses. Les, what are your thoughts on the championship golf courses offered at the Walt Disney World Resort?
From the 2 that I played, they are great. They're very well taken care of. The staff is very, very friendly, very courteous, and you can't beat the Florida weather. So, I mean, it's just all around great. Love it.
Absolutely. And in addition to the championship golf courses that Walt Disney World has, they also offer a 9-hole executive course that I've not played at, but I believe, Les, you have, right?
Yep, so I played that last April, I guess it was, and it's a walking course, so you can carry your bag, you can use a pull cart, and if available, you can ask to rent a robot caddy, and it stays about, I think it's 10 or 15 feet behind you, so as you start walking forward, it basically follows you wherever you go.
That's so cool.
The caveat is that when you go to putt on the greens, you have to remember to turn the RoboCaddy off, so the RoboCaddy does not follow you on the greens, because they don't want the RoboCaddies on the greens. So,
But to that end, right, you would think that these RoboCaddies would have some sort of GPS built into it to know, oh, hey, I'm on the green or I'm approaching the green. Maybe I shouldn't go on there, right?
It would be nice, but like when I was reading the directions, if you did rent one, they explicitly say to remember to turn off the RoboCaddy remote control when you step onto the green so it doesn't follow you. So they're smart,
Gotcha.
but they're not that smart, I guess.
Interesting. Nice.
Oh. But Oak Trail was a very nice course. I'll definitely play there again.
Would you say it's on par as far as not obviously it's not an 18-hole course or championship course, but would you say the condition of the course is on par with the championship courses, or is it kind of like your municipal golf course? Is it really kept nice?
It was nice. Obviously, Florida, being where it is geographically, is very hot, very humid. So the fairways on Oak Trail, for the most part, were in good condition. There were some burned out spots. But even if the fairway on a particular hole was less than spectacular, the greens were still immaculate. So once you got onto the green, they were in as good condition as the 18-hole courses.
Gotcha. Nice. And to that note, Disney does offer also 2 miniature golf courses on property, the Disney's Winter Summerland and Fantasia Gardens. I personally have not done the miniature golf, but it is on the bucket list. It's on my things to do, as is renting a boat. So Disney offers the ability for you to rent a boat, either a fireworks dessert cruise, or you can just captain your own boat and rent your boat, go out fishing, or just hang out on Bay Lake or the Seven Seas Lagoon. So make sure you check the Disney website for that. That is definitely on my bucket list of things to do. Just as a side note, the specialty charter cruises for the fireworks, it does include your snacks and drinks. Check the website for obviously pricing and availability. And if you've done any of those cruises or rented a boat, please let us know in the comments below. We'd really love to hear from you. I'd like to know what your experience is like, just so I can kind of prepare myself for renting a boat down on Walt Disney World property. The last thing on the list of things to do is renting a Surrey bike. So,
Right. So if any of our fans are lucky enough to have ever been to like a coastal town or a beach town where they have the 2 or the 4 person bikes, there are several locations throughout Disney World properties where you can rent those same bikes or similar ones. And so you can take your family, or if it's just, you and another person, you can get the 2-person one and just go relax and ride around. So, different places where you can do that is like Old Key West, Saratoga Springs, Port Orleans, Boardwalk, which is pretty self-explanatory. Just a few of the places that you can do it, but you want to go out and get a little bit of exercise without really exerting yourself. Kind of sit back, relax, take in the sights, ride the bike. Definitely another option.
yeah, I think that's going to be one of the things that we'll have to check out. Not necessarily this trip, but sometime in the near future, we'll have to check it out just so we can report on that better. But, I mean, gang, there's so many things to do down at the Walt Disney World Resort that doesn't involve going to a park, that we just couldn't fit it all in one episode. So make sure you guys are subscribed and have notifications turned on so that you know whenever we release a follow-up episode to this for even more things to do on a non-park day at Walt Disney World Resort. So, Les, do you have any closing thoughts for the viewers before we wrap it up today?
Yeah, just that, a lot of the things that we mentioned on this episode are free. You don't, if you have a down day, there's really no reason to go out and spend a lot of money or any money at all if you don't want to. You have the Walt Disney World transportation available at your disposal. It's included in your cost to stay there, so why not take advantage of it and do a lot of free stuff, and that way you can save some money at the same time. So, or take the day and go out and blow a whole bunch of money. I mean, whatever you want to do, but you can definitely do your down day on the cheap or at no to minimal cost. So,
yeah, I agree. Well, guys, that about wraps it up for this episode. We really appreciate you hanging out with us today, and as always, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.
See ya.